Here's part one of a scarification video. This is my garden, which looks like I've purposely left it to rack and ruin. I've also cut it too short. I've got it in the hot weather. It's browned up, but I've also got a lot of moss around the outside of it. So I'm going to scarify my own garden to give you some idea of what the process is and what it actually does and how your garden looks along the way. There's plenty of videos around the garden and I've tried to give you all the bad areas. So the top left hand corner there is full of moss, around the outside is full of moss and thatch. Haven't laid this garden long, to be honest. It's probably been now 2 or 3 years, but lack of maintenance has given me quite a big moss problem. I'm going to try and treat that and give you some idea of what happens when you scarify along the way. So here we go. Start with the scarification. Set quite deeply. You can see it's swinging blade scarify this, so it's going to cut quite deeply into the garden. And it's going to remove an awful lot of thatch. There's a thatch collector on this Scarify that I'm using, which is quite unusual. And it fills very, very quickly. I've got a picture of the bin after I've run a couple of times off it, and it's 3/4 filled. My small little garden here, 3/4 filled a green bin. It could possibly be easier to run it without the collector on it. It just means you're going to have to pick the thatch up off the garden. But that is probably a simpler job than the way I'm doing it, because that thing is quite heavy once you take it off. So when I empty the collector off the Scarify, you can see there's quite a bit of soil in there. That's almost definitely because I've set the blades too low. They're dragging some of the soil out with the grass. I don't mind really. I'm going to reseed it as soon as I finish this, and I'm going to resoil it as well. Here's the garden after I've scarified it. You can see the damage on the garden, and it doesn't look pretty, but unfortunately this is what you've got to do to get rid of that thatch in the garden. Large green grass collecting wheelie bin, 3/4 full, off this tiny little garden. Gives you some idea of how much thatch will come out of an average sized garden. You could do it bit by bit just to reduce that amount. Here's a view where I have actually taken the scarification off, taken all the thatch out. I've overseeded the garden now, and in the next video I'm going to add some soil, and I'm going to rake the soil across it and give the garden a top dressing, reduce some of the lumps and bumps that are in the garden, and give a cover for the seed to grow up through. Not too deep, but just lightly across the top surface.